Hey guys, welcome back to Mile.3 Garage. Today we're going to do a tech video on how to install carbon fiber wrap on trim pieces inside your vehicle. This whole carbon fiber wrap project cost me less than $15. I'll put the link in the description below. We chose the matte carbon fiber look instead of a gloss carbon fiber. But you can get anything from what is considered 3D to 7D carbon fiber vinyl. 3D is going to be more of a matte. 4D, 5D is going to be a gloss, kind of a semi-gloss. And then 60 and 70 is going to be a real deep gloss. There's also wood grain, which we're going to do for the Wagoneer. We have to replace the wood grain vinyl on it. You can also do anodized colors, make it look like anodized aluminum. Have some fun with it. It's inexpensive. It's not permanent. You can literally, once you put it on, you can use a heat gun and take it off in 5 minutes. It's fun to try new colors and see what it looks like. It's inexpensive. It's a cheap, fun project. So enjoy this video. Remember to like this video if it helps you out. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be picking up Matt's Bronco this week in Seattle. And I'm going to do a video on that, which will include drone footage because I just bought a drone, so I'm super excited. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to getting that, meeting Matt and getting that back here. Thanks for coming along. We are at the kitchen table, one of the only wide open spaces that we have. The kit that I purchased, you can get like a 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D gloss carbon fiber vinyl. I chose the 3D, which is the matte vinyl, and I think that looks a little bit nicer in this car. Most of the leather is kind of a matte finish, so I think it'll match a little bit better. Sometimes I think those glossy carbon fiber kits are a little bit much. They look a little more like a sticker and less like real carbon fiber. So in the kit that and I'll put that down in the bottom there so that you can see where we got it from. We got it from that will sell you as much as you need for the job that you have. So this kit that I bought, I believe, is 30 inches wide or 36 inches wide by about 50 to 60 inches long. So there's plenty of carbon fiber vinyl in there for the interior trim of this S4. In the kit, they were so nice to put a white glove, which I assume there are no instructions inside of it, so you have to guess at what this is for. The white glove for working with the vinyl on there so it slides across the vinyl and doesn't get sticky with your hands. It comes with a little like razor to cut the vinyl with. It comes with a trim puller, which is nice because I didn't have a trim puller and this worked really well for this Audi S4. An adhesion promoter, which basically smells like acetone on a rag. We also have our acetone here for cleaning the trim pieces. And then it comes with a felt lined scraper to work all the bubbles out. Also I have a heat gun because today it's snowing outside and we want to get this vinyl to work a little bit better. So place the trim piece inside of your vinyl here, and this particular kit comes with lines so you can kind of get an idea how much you're using. Leave an extra 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch on each side. You can always trim it off, but if you cut it too short, it's really hard to stretch it without deforming the look of the vinyl. And then just make your trim cuts. And I don't want it to be so big that it's hard to work with, so I'm going to cut a little piece of this trim off here. And because this is a curved trim piece, we're going to go a little bit further than what it actually is in order to... Alright, now I didn't press that hard to put a line in the table. So now I'm going to put this off, take this off, and then I'm just going to follow that cut that I made. So now I'm going to take my napkin, put some acetone on there, and clean this so I can get the best adhesion possible. Just because we have it, I'm going to use our adhesion promoter. I'm going to wipe this with the adhesion promoter. several ways to do this. You can feed it as you go, peel back part of it, and then just kind of feed it on there so that you can get it straight. So you're going to place this down, and it's really hard to kind of get an idea about where you're going to place it first, because as you pull it off, you're going to find out really quick if it's going to be too short in one section. This is actually going on pretty nice, so I think I'm okay. And I'm just going to keep pulling, and it looks like I've been making it. All right, so now we've got it on there, as you can see, and then I'm just going to start lightly pressing on this just to get the main part of the curves done. That'll get it to sit while we work on the more complicated part. So I'm going to get the shape of the vinyl. Now with this 3D version, I'm actually going to peel this around to the back where I can. I'm going to wrap it all the way around, just like that. I'm going to get it to sit where I can. So that turned out really nice. Keep going all the way around to the back. That'll help eliminate any air bubbles. If you do get an air bubble, sometimes you can work it out with this. Sometimes you have to poke the vinyl a little bit to get the air to come out, but if you poke it, I suggest you do it in one of the dark spots. And also in the direction the weave is going, because if you cut it the opposite direction, then those little fibers are going to pop up, and it's going to look terrible when you get done. This side, because it's on the curved end, is going to be a little bit more complicated. You can see how it's starting to bow up instead of down. So I'm going to hit this very lightly with some heat. Almost to where you can't even, you can see it starting to bend back a little bit. I'm going to start with this end, and I'm going to work it. I'm going to cut this about halfway through, cut here about halfway through, cut here about halfway through, and then start working it back. With this 3D vinyl, just be careful about how hard you push, because it actually, the weave, there is a weave on this, just like real carbon fiber, and to give that three-dimensional feel. And if you push too hard, you'll distort the way the weave looks. So on this side, because it's shorter, I'm actually going to hit it with a little bit of heat. Okay, there you go. Folds right around. It'll stick a little bit better. Trim away the excess. So that gets us a pretty clean look on the back. Now we have to heat and work with these corners a little bit more, which we'll do to get the wrinkles out of there. But for the most part, this is done. Then when you're doing technical corners, like on this particular piece right here, we've got a curved angle and a right angle right here. And that's really hard unless you box fold it, and it's not going to look good in that corner. So remember that the heat gun is going to be able to manipulate this extremely well. Because all you're going to do is you're just barely going to hit it until it starts waving like that. Once it starts to wave like that, it'll start to drop a little bit. If you heat it up too much or get too close, it's going to burn it or gloss it. So I'm just going to do that. Set the heat gun down, and then I'm going to pull it from the most immediate corner, and I'm going to stretch it around that corner just like that. Pull it back. Now the fold is on the back side and not in the corner. You can also see I did the same thing with that curve right there, heated it up, and then just slowly pulled it and stretched it to where it kept a seam from getting created, and then it'll literally fold around the back just like that. Now we're coming up to another technical corner right here where there is a little L. There's an L bend in this bracket right here, or this trim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put just a little relief cut right in that corner. Not too much, still plenty of room in there. I've already worked it to the edge, so I know where the edge is right there. Worked it to the edge. I know where the edge is. There's the edge right there of the L. So I can see that little L mark right in there. Now, hit it with the heat gun. And then, starting from this side, I'm going to pull this corner all the way in. And I'm going to pull this L all the way down. And then I'm going to pull it from the corner and pull it from the edge. So now, from a viewing angle, if you heat it up enough and you pull it, it'll literally stretch around whatever form you want it to. It almost acts a little bit like shrink tubing when you do it right. I'm going to pull it around that corner right there so that the tip of the corner is poking through, and then hit the rest of it just like that. And that is a nice corner. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's a nice corner, and that's just a very little heat. So then we have one of the harder ones right here, which is a completely circular round right there. So again, I'm going to press it all the way up to the edge so I can see where that edge is. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. Start to stretch it around that corner. Start to stretch. Pull this. Stretch it as well. Don't worry too much about this corner part, because you're going to pull that down and that corner is going to take care of itself. That turned out really nice. You can see that right there. That's just a little bit of heat and some quick work with your fingers. Now there's the trim piece all the way around to the edge. And this is a dash piece, so there's actually dash hiding most of these other areas, so even if there are some minor imperfections in there, it's going to be hidden anyway. Alright, we're inside the Audi now. We just got most of the wrap done, so that I thought I'd show it to you. Since we have a nice snowy day outside, you got a lot of good light reflection going on in the car. And as you can see, it turned out super nice. The entire car has been transformed from a Krylon black painted trim car to what looks like a premium carbon fiber wrap. Now, I also did the shifter, but I still have to do the ashtray because the ashtray is still wood grain. And in order to get the ashtray out, I have to basically take everything else in the dash out. So I thought I would get the light while it's good. There is the wood panel shifter surround covered in that carbon fiber vinyl. That's going to look really nice, complemented with the black Recaro seats. And then in the back, as you can see, carbon fiber looks super nice in here. And that's a wrap from Mile.3.